Not sure how effective he's been in communicating with the defense, and it's a young defense. One of the responsibilities of the goalkeeper is to give them communication and make sure they clear fully. He's not the one that clears, but maybe he has to come out more aggressively and take balls when the opportunity presents.
Rich Balshin at the 18. Balshin and a great tackle by Apari. Here's Miram now. Miram past Daniel Kelly. Miram played that too far in front, and Caleb Konstanski clears.
That's what Justin Miram does well. He runs at players, and that time, Suni Saad ran into his space. Otherwise, he might have gotten through and had a chance on goal.
Here's that matchup we've been anticipating of Hari and Will Bruin. Kotloff at the top of the box, creating some space. And the Wolverines salvage that attempt for Indiana.
And Moody Saad coming back and doing the defensive work that particular time. But they need him to get up with his brother and join in the attack. Michigan's not going to beat Indiana or any quality team at all with only 2 players attacking. I see that Matt Schmidt is still up there. I like that decision by Steve Burns. He's a strong guy with a lot of heart. He will not let down. He'll apply some more physicality and aggression to Indiana as the Wolverines go against the Hoosiers.
Purdy 1v1 with Harris, and Purdy wins that duel and has some room. Here's the cross. There's Kotloff too far. Andy Adler with an opportunity. And there's Miram for the Wolverines. Moody Saad, who was subbed out, now back in. Miram looks for the through ball, but denied by Tommy Meyer.
What they've done, the Wolverines, is they put Miram back in the midfield, wide on the left, so Schmidt can go up front. Mency has come off.
Here's Harrison Petts. They go wide again to Purdy. Harris on him. Purdy turns it in. Here's Kotloff, back to Bruin. Apari stepped out. And now you see some resurgence from the Michigan back line.
Well, one of the things that they've done is make that substitution correction, not Mencia. Dylan Mencia is still on. They've taken Latif Alashe out. He's more of a defensive style player. Steve Burns and Paul Snipe, Chris Grassi undoubtedly realizing they need as much attack as possible. And they have to go after Indiana. It's critical these first 15 minutes that even if they don't get a goal, they get more possession of the ball.
Purdy for Indiana. Purdy tries to go around Klemzak, but Klemzak stuck out his left boot. Purdy will have it here. Up top to Bushu. Jacob Bushu, look at him go all the way back into his defensive side of the field to save that play.
Well, that's his job. He needs to be there, and getting forward in the attack is one thing, but he's not a forward anymore. He's got to anchor the defense and not allow Michigan to come out of the back as they did that time. But they came out of the back and they didn't get the midfield up to support. That was the problem. They're sitting back with 7 or 8 guys in their own half. They're not going to beat Indiana that way.
Petts goes out to Andy Adler. Hoosier searching for another, the cross inside, and Will Bruin almost slid like he was going to home plate, but to no avail.
And that's the combination that makes Indiana dangerous. Adler is a great server of the ball. He's got time and space, and Will Bruin will sell out, and that's great work tracking back by Brian Klemzak. Otherwise, Will Bruin's probably got the 3rd Indiana goal if Klemzak doesn't track him.
Kotloff and Purdy again working with one another. Steve Burns has to be shaking his head in disgust right now that this ball's been dominated in his own defensive third. They look for Schmidt. Balshin runs stride for stride with him.
What a nice play by Rich Balshin, one of these unsung heroes that Indiana's relied on throughout the years. Once again, Rich Balshin, one of the piano carriers, does the hard, dirty work, and leaves the glory to some of the others. But Rich Paulson's a critical member of the team. One of the reasons why Steve Burns is so upset about what's been going on here thus far. Look at Paulson right there in front of Steve Burns, and I'm sure Steve Burns would like to have Rich Paulson. A lot of people would like to have him, and a team in MLS will be very lucky to have him a year from now.